What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? I am working from home today because I have a flight to catch, as many of you know. Matter of fact, you know what? I've been slacking for a minute. Let me get this together. Give me a second because surely I did not send out these cash apps as promised. And so while I'm thinking about it, because I'll have 1,000 different things on my mind all at the same time, let me go ahead and get that taken care of. All right. Never make a promise that you're not willing to keep, and you always have to deliver on your word. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feel? What up, Car? Osriel, Joe Gunn, Carmen O, Mister, everybody in the building. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feel? Let's see what we got here. So we have Dame Dash. She was the one that won the other day. And so I think stuff is I need money. I'm gonna send them both at the same time. Let's see. Cash. Give me a second, guys. I got to take care of my responsibilities. For the people that support the platform, I got to make sure I take care of that. Confirm. All right, I got that one. And then it's another one was Ida B. Wells. Is it Ida B. Wells? Carmichael 76. I got you. I got you. Give me a second. I hope this is the right one. I hope I'm sending it to the right person. Carmichael 76. All right, your car sent this to me. So I'm gonna get that taken care of, and then we're gonna send that out right now. I got you. I got you, Ida B. Wells. I see you. I see you, Dame Dash. I got you. So we sent them both. All right, we sent them both at the same time. And you guys should get it. So let me know that y'all got it inside of the chat. Let me know that y'all got it. And then we're going to go ahead and continue to go on with the show. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my dog, Mike That Dude. Thank you, Mike That Dude, for holding me down. Myron, I appreciate you. Jalen Hawkins, I appreciate y'all. Cedric Johnson, everybody that pulled up on me. Everybody that pulled up on me on Jason Whitlock show yesterday, I appreciate y'all for holding me down. And everybody, what up to my girl Mika? What up to Mika in the building? Did y'all get it? Make sure y'all got y'all Cash App successfully. I'm sure y'all got it successfully. We don't need to worry about it. Next week we'll do another giveaway. If y'all can guess where I'm gonna be at next week, and then we'll go from there. All right. Y'all like that show? I will tell you, Dame, you got it. All right, cool. Cool. I will tell y'all that I was talking to Jason on the phone yesterday, and we got some big things planned. We got some really big things planned. So, yeah, man, we own it. Life is good. What's up, Molly? What up, Robert Dalton? What up, everybody? Lewis McCaskill. Oh, Mika is what up, Mika? Mika is mine, y'all. All right. Shout out to Slant Sales Car, Shadow Dragon TV. And we working on it. Thanks, AD. I appreciate you. All right, Ida. All right, cool. So we in it. All right, y'all. So I'm territorial over my ladies. I'm territorial over Molly. I'm territorial over Mika. I'm territorial over everybody. I'm territorial over Kim, Carrie, territorial over Q, everybody. So we good. Lavender marriages video is in your email. Y'all sent me a video about lavender marriages. Send it to me again so it'll be at the top. I'll do a review video on it. Maybe we can make that the subject of tomorrow's after hours. We'll throw that in there too. Quentin says Kim is not yours. Bullshit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cuss. I didn't mean to cuss, Quentin. You're not going to lie to me. You're not going to lie to me.
Please leave your message for two.
Got to make a quick phone call real quick. Sorry, y'all.
Please leave your message.
Trying to call a contractor. Anyways, so you lied to me. Oh, now Kim is yours too. Kiwan says, what is a lavender marriage? A lavender marriage is where the guy is gay, but he still marries the woman. And I think that the woman is overlooking all of the signs that he's gay. I've actually seen it pop up on TikTok a lot. So a lavender marriage is where the guy seems gay and everybody is everybody be watching and like, yo, is he gay? Is he gay? And maybe he really is gay, but the woman is like, no, he's regular. And so they actually think that the guy is regular. I want to give a shout out to God Loves All. So go to God Loves All and pick up all of the content. He sent me some new hats. So I'll be rocking my God Loves All hats, and also made this for me. So going on tour, the I Choose You 2 tour. So definitely sent me that. I appreciate you. God Loves All. But the hats is dope. So if y'all haven't gotten y'all merch, hats, hoodies, everything, God Loves All. He put it together. It's dope. Bruce Wayne says domestic violence is one thing, sex trafficking is another. All right, well, let's get into it. It sounds like y'all ready to get into the show. Jody says, good morning. Thank you, Anton, for all of the knowledge you share. It's my 37th birthday. Big Taurus energy. Shout out to my girl. Hey, hit up Jody if y'all want to give a birthday gift to Jody. That's her Cash App right there at the bottom. Jody is happy birthday, Jody. All right, I'm gonna save that one. Jamani says Unc made 600 on Nvidia option call, still DCA2. Shout out to y'all. EB Miles Davis says, what up, AD? You were on fire on Whitlock show. Slimmy was cooking last night. Slimmy was cooking last night. Joe, that's because the Cavs lost. Joe Gun 84 says Lavender Marriages video is in your email. All right, I'm gonna check that out. We're gonna talk about it. A lot of people ain't even familiar with that. So many different terms on the internet. Why am I in such a good mood today? Anton, please read the paperwork from the feds before you speak on it. Before I speak on what? What am I reading the paperwork from the feds on? Shout out to everybody that pulled up on Jason Whitlock's show yesterday. You can have Drake drop the hook on the I Choose You 2 tour. I wish. I'll drop an album if Drake do a collab. For real, for real. Anyways, I am to AD something about today. I am in a good mood today. I am in a very, very good mood. Maybe it's because everybody in my life is in a good space. You know, I woke up this morning, and for guys that, let me just say this before we get started with the show. For guys that are very, very, very productive and active, you're probably not going to have a lot of time at home. I was very blessed and fortunate to work from home a lot as I ascended through corporate America, have the option to work from home, which means that I kind of tailored my own schedule. I think the golden age of working from home was probably like 2010 through 2023, 24. But I had the opportunity to really participate a lot in my daughter's life as I, ascended and worked and became a career guy, built my businesses. And it was a lot that I missed, but it was also a lot that I did. I was able to accomplish. And I think that is really, really hard for guys that are building a brand or that is ascending in corporate America to balance both. And I'm giving you this game, y'all. And I need y'all to start really dialing in, really listening to what I say, because I don't talk from the lens of a person that has an experienced life. I've seen a lot in my life. I've seen a whole lot in my life. And so for the women that have sons or younger people in their life that they're trying to groom or raise, and for the guys that are on the come up, the 21, 22, 23-year-olds, let me just tell you, pay attention to what I say, because I am genuinely giving you life lessons. I know that we do reactions and we do references to different things, and we got a whole show that's lined up for you guys today. But I give you real life advice. That the advice that I give y'all is the type of advice that you used to get when you used to sit up under the elders, except for this is like one of the most successful people that you'll probably meet. And I'm not bigging myself up. I'm telling you the truth. I have a wealth of knowledge. I have a lifetime, 3 lifetimes of knowledge of things that I've seen, from the environments that I come from, to the people that I've learned from the mentors that I've learned from the things that I've seen. And I'm really, really, really passionate about trying to give you all this game. And I think that a lot of times we miss it or we discount it because we so familiar with each other, or because I'm so close to you guys. And I think that a lot of the disrespect sometimes even comes from the fact that people can and do contact me, and I do acknowledge them, and I interact with the chat and stuff like that. But I will tell you, as my ascent as a 43-year-old man, and I was talking to my daughter last night, and then I was talking to her this morning, and she was like, "Dad, can I miss first hour? I don't really need to be there." And I said, "No, Leslie, get up, go to school, whatever." And so she jumped in her big old Ram TRX and she burrowed out, and then so on and so forth. And so we have a really, 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 really tight, great relationship. But I don't get to see her as often because I work more than I ever have before. When you run your own businesses, when you got your own content creation, when you in the studio, I live in the studio a lot of times when I'm here, and I'm often at times heads down dealing with different deals, got different contractors and stuff like that that is calling me and dealing with me on a regular basis and all of that. So, I need women to understand one thing and the men to understand something else, right? For my women, I need y'all to understand that if you are looking for a guy that is incredibly productive, that is going to make a lot of money, he may not even be there right now, but you may be with a guy that has these dreams and aspirations, and he's working on something that's really, really great and awesome. You're going to have to adjust. You got to change who you are. When I tell guys that they need to vet for the woman that is going to be with them based off of where they're going in the direction that they're going in, you're going to have to recalibrate your mind to know and see in this guy. And let's be clear, y'all know who the guys is that y'all talking to. We know who the guys is that's going to be successful. We know who the guys that got this crazy work ethic. They're going to get there. It don't matter if it take them 10 years to get there. It don't matter if it's going to take them 5 years to get there. It don't matter if they just blow up 1 year. They have this drive, this desire, this work ethic. And I'm not talking about guys that do it casually, guys that just talk about, oh man, I want to do this when I grow, or he put a little bit into it. He may be a good guy, but he's not him. It's different hymns in different spheres, right? There's hymns when it comes to business and production. There's hymns when it comes to corporate America. There's hymns when it comes to getting girls. And then it could be a combination of both, right? Or whatever, right? It could be hymns when it comes to captivating the room and communication, or he may be a great speaker or community leader or whatever that is, right? There are hymns, and we all see them. We could see them in high school. We could see them in real life. We know who's going to be what, and even if they play humble, right? I'm not the type of person to play humble. I'm gonna tell you, I am going to be one of the greatest streamers, YouTubers, and when it's all said and done, we are at still, even right now, we are at the cusp. When I was speaking on Jason Whitlock's show yesterday, and at the end of the show, I'm gonna be honest with you. At the end of the show, I go into a trance where sometimes when I'm done speaking, I have to stop, cut off the camera, talk to God, and say, what the fuck was that? Because I can't even believe some of the stuff that comes out of my mouth that's communicated. It's almost like you take a limitless pill, and when you pray before you go on to a show, and then you go into that zone sometimes, you know what I'm saying? It's like a speech or a motivational speech or something, and I start reciting stuff that I've read that I didn't even write down, but then I can reference it when it's time to reference it in order to inspire people to do stuff. Sometimes you just come back and be like, no, that's all you, God. That's all God right there, 100%. I got to give you all the credit for this one because I know I'm good, but you took me to another level, and I'm just thankful to be a part for the ride. I know where my path is. I know that I'm meant to touch audiences, that I'm meant to go into a different space. And so when it comes to certain things, I know that I'm him. And for the women, when y'all get with these guys that you know what? Nah, he transformational, he different. I need y'all to do two things. Either A, change who you are to understand that you are going to have to play second fiddle. You're going to have to truly be a helpmeet. You can't compete with him. You can't be getting in his way. You can't make things difficult for him. You are going to have to truly change who you are and even give up who you thought you were going to be in order to make sure that that man got everything that he has in order to be successful. Understanding that he's not even going to be able to spend a lot of time with you. He may be on the road. He may only see you 2 or 3 days out of the week. He may only be able to sleep in the house at certain times. He may be sleeping at his business and be dedicating himself to every single thing that he has, and he gives up everything to go into that thing. You're going to have to understand that you cannot have the same regular responses. You can't have the same regular requests. You can't think of yourself as a regular woman. You're going to have to be an abnormal woman. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you can't be that for him, then get out of his way. Do not slow him down. Don't slow him down. Either be the expectation, understanding that your life is going to be abnormal. You're going to get the benefits. It may even be some lonely nights until you adjust to it, but he can't prioritize you. He has to prioritize his purpose. You're going to be the beneficiary of his greatness. Don't be Michelle Obama and going on a podcast tour talking about how you hated the fact that he became president and you didn't want him to become president of the United States of America. As much as I don't necessarily care for the way that President Obama, some of the policies and some of the things that he did do some good things, but more importantly, everybody and their mama, when Barack Obama was speaking, knew that he was going to be president of the United States of America. That's just the game. And I hate when I see women sometimes like a Michelle Obama, or when I see women say, well, he wouldn't have been nothing without Michelle. Shut the fuck up. That is a lie. That is the biggest lie that I've ever heard in my entire life. He was going to be him no matter who he was with. She just so happened to be the one that he chose. And it doesn't mean that she didn't contribute or that she didn't play a role or that she wasn't meant for him or whatever. But what I'm saying is that there are some people that are meant for greatness. You have to divest yourself from your ego in order for that thing to truly work. And there's a synergy that has to happen between people. And that's why guys have to vet and be careful for who it is that they deal with, because you got to vet for the person that's going in the direction that you're going in, not necessarily for where you are. I'm telling you, if you want a guy that is going to be there for you every day, that makes sure that he does this for you and all of this stuff, then you're going to have to get with a regular guy. Go get with a normal, exceptional guy. Don't get with a God tier, purposely driven, meant to be changing the world, building great businesses and transformational type of guy. That's not for you. If you can't adjust who you are, if you can't dress for the job that you're supposed to have, then get out of the way. Please get out of the way, because you're slowing that guy down. On the flip side of that, for the men, you're going to have to understand that your life is going to be abnormal. You cannot do the same things that everybody else do. You can't go to the same places. You can't hang out with the same dusties and the people. Listen, if your friends from the hood that's not going in the direction that you're going in, don't say, hey, man, go ahead and get out of here. If he not the friend that they had on Good Will Hunting, when Ben Affleck told Matt Damon, hey, listen, if you still here, I mean, we love you, but if you still here when I wake up in the morning and I come to pick you up and you still doing this stuff that we still doing because you got an exceptional gift, I knock you out myself. True friends understand that there's some people that's meant to go in a whole nother direction. Real talk. Your journey, your life, who you become, whatever it is that you are, it's going to take everything in you. You're not going to be able to do the same things. You're going to have to, when everybody else is going out and hanging out, you're going to have to be in the mud, getting to it. You're going to have to go deep in the basement, discipline, hustle, grind. You're not going to be able to see your children as often as you want to. And they're going to have to learn and understand that. And the times that you are with them, it's going to have to be more meaningful. What am I explaining to you guys? I'm explaining to you the mindset of people that truly tap into the purpose that God has for them. And you learn to divest yourself from the mindset of people that keep on trying to tell you you're regular. If you're watching this right now, whatever your purpose is, you are not meant to do the same things that everybody else is doing. Stop hitting me with that speech saying everybody can't be rich. You know what? Some of us just want to do regular stuff. Okay, then divest yourself from the conversation and stop commenting. We don't want to hear from you on certain subjects. You're not meant to have that conversation in that lens. That's not for you. Cool, we get it. Somebody got to move the chairs. Maybe that's you. Maybe you understand that your chair moving assignment is critical. But there are other people that have greater purposes, and it will be a disaster. The expectations on their life is much greater than whatever it is that they've lived up to right now. Step into your purpose. Stop focusing on what everybody else is doing. Stop trying to fit in and stand out. Stop trying to fit in and stand out. Nurture, prepare yourself. Get in your word, study your craft, master your craft, put in your 10,000 hours. Put yourself in a position to be great and stop trying. Understand that when you grow and when you ascend, it's going to be a whole lot of people that's mad at you and throw rocks at you at the same time. It's going to be some people that make videos about you. It's going to be some people that start some rumors about you. It's going to be some people that criticize you. That's not your fight. That's not your fight. That's an insecurity that they have within themselves that they have to solve for. Your job is to do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, and to change the world, or to change the dynamics of your family, or to change the dynamics of whatever it is that's happening in your community, or to be the impact, to be the example. Stop trying to convince people of your vision or what God gave you. That ain't for them. That's for you. Your vision is for you. That's why you see it and they can't. You're trying to convince people to get, oh, please, 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 come on, there y'all look. They see it. They're going to watch it. They already watching it. They watching it, hoping that you don't get it so that they could feel better about where they are in life, about the decisions that they made. They watching. Everybody watching. They know. Famous, not famous. They know. They know who's who. They just hoping that you don't get there because it makes them feel better because they know that you're going to be in the mud with them. They know. Your life is not going to be a normal life. You're going to have an abnormal journey Whatever that is. If you're suffering through it, get through it. Get through it. You'll be all right. Dust yourself off. Listen, you the first person to go to college. You the first person that's not a son husband. You the first person that's going to really transform your life. Get with the program and lean into your purpose. Your mother and your father was there in order to give you the foundation. It's your time to shine now. Step out. They can't hold you down. Nobody can hold you down. Nobody can prevent you from being what you're supposed to be except for you. You have a decision to make in your life. And I'm saying this for the wives. I'm saying this for the men that's great. I'm saying this for everybody that understands and knows who they are, but have subdued themselves in order to satisfy the world. It's not going to be for them. It's time. It's time. I remember the day that God told me. He said, "You ready now?" He said, "It's time." It was the scariest thing that ever happened to me. Because you try to deny it, but you realize, yeah, you know what? All of this time I've been training for this. All of this time I've been working my whole life circumstances up to this point. It's time. It's time. There's some people that had a season in your life. It's time. They got to go. There's some people that you was just cool with it. It's time. It's time. They were a season. They were there for that time, and everybody is not meant to take the whole journey with you. They got a ceiling. You don't. That's it. That's the word. That's what I got for you. Let's go ahead and get into the show, y'all. Keep on worrying about what everybody else thinks. Falafel, shout out to you, says, "Good morning, Danielites. What up to y'all?" Don Gorgon says, "Email on a property sent, but I never heard back." Okay, I got you. Give me a second. I got a lot that I'm working to. 392Q says, "Nobody is saying Diddy is innocent, but people saying she was groomed to doing that. At what age are you not groomed and hold accountability?" We're going to get to that. Purple Haze says, "Salute to you, Real Talk. The closest we are going to be able to talk to the millionaire regularly. Soak up the game. Y'all can come and kick it with me at the Patreon meetup. Just go into the Patreon." Chris Cunningham says, "I'm the same way with sales. I take it serious." Abe the Hunter says, "Have you seen Magic City that's available on Netflix based off of the 1950 Miami? There's a scene where the boss had a Diddy demon fetish, had a mirror in the scene and looking at his lady sleep around." No, I've never seen that. Never seen it. Jerry says he has to prioritize his purpose. Ladies fall in line and don't be a distraction. I like that. I like that, Jerry. Mr. Lot says, "You cooking, bro? As soon as she starts talking about quality time, I know she's about to complain. You're either in my corner or you're in my way." Mr. Lot, let me also say this, and then we're going to go ahead and deep dive into the show. We got to have grace. We got to have a lot more grace too, as guys. You got to understand that she is uncomfortable with this journey that you're about to take. She don't even know what her purpose is about to be at. She don't even know the things that she about to endure through. She's going to suffer through her growth because she thinks that things are supposed to be a certain way, but she don't understand what's to come. And so we also have to have a little bit more grace sometimes with the women, understanding that they are going to have growing pains through you. They are going to have to normalize getting uncomfortable with the fact that you may not necessarily have as much quality time to spend with her when you first met her and you ain't have nothing better to do. You know what I'm saying? So don't discard them so fast. Give them a little bit of grace. Give them a little bit of grace. All right. It's new for her as well. That's correct, Tasha. All right, y'all ready to get started with the show? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Let's get into the first subject. So, of course, we always go into something local. And when y'all sent email, I said, no way. That can't be true. That's not. No way. No way that one is true. I have to see it for myself. Apparently, a woman threw a man's stuff off of a third floor balcony. And this is in San Diego, I believe. And so he decided that he wanted to throw her off a balcony. He decided that he wants to throw her off a balcony in retaliation. You can't make this stuff up. I haven't seen this story yet, but I did see it and you guys sent it to me. So I said that let's go ahead and have a conversation about it to figure out exactly what's going on out in these streets. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications as well.
One woman is dead, her boyfriend in custody after police say he threw her over the third-floor balcony of her apartment complex. She was taken to the hospital where she died.
The incident was so gruesome that neighbors say they're still traumatized. NBC7's Kelvin Henry joins us now from the scene. Kelvin?
And now, Catherine and Michelle, I spent my day speaking to people in the community, and they say they are horrified by what happened. Now, the crews were out here today, and they were still processing the scene. And I also spoke with more neighbors that were in the immediate vicinity. They say they're still wrapping their heads around what took place.
I'm truly traumatized by what I've seen.
Charles Riddle lives steps away from where the victim lived and where the violent incident happened.
I walk out my door, and the lady that was thrown off the balcony had a bag of, I guess, her boyfriend's clothing, and drops it at the elevator. And she's mad and angry, and she goes back to the apartment.
Charles says at this point, things went downhill.
But I get down the elevator and go downstairs. Before I made it to my car, I hear a commotion, and I turn around. He's got hold of her right over here, and from behind, and he heaves her over the balcony, and she cartwheels, hits head first on the ground.
Almost 24 hours later, and there is still caution tape hanging as a crew is processing what is now a crime scene. According to the San Diego Police Department, the victim was taken to a local hospital with head trauma and a broken leg, but did not survive her injuries. They say the suspect is 57-year-old Albert Turner, and the victim is 61-year-old Irene Williams.
Yo, Albert and Irene, those is old names. Those are old names. What are we talking about here, guys? I thought that they was gonna say that they were 24 and 25, that they had been smoking trees or meth or something of some kind of substance or something like that. You can't be 57 and 60 getting into a confrontation with each other. Y'all still throwing each other out at 57 and 60? Miss Freckles, at 57 and 60, 57 and 60? Really? All right, listen. This is what I've learned by browsing Facebook. I haven't been on Facebook in about 2 years. All right, maybe longer. I tried to log in the other day because somebody sent me something and said, Anton, you got to check out this Facebook clip. And so I tried to log in. I had trouble logging in. They said that I had to go through a second authentication with my old cell phone number, that the one that leaked on the internet that I had to wind up changing the number for. I said, this is just too messy. I don't know if I want to continue to go through this. But this is what I remember from Facebook. I remember from Facebook that most people that are on Facebook, not all, some people is just chill, some people is just sharing stuff. I know a lot of people that use Facebook Marketplace, and I also know some people that use the groups to, connect or talk about stuff or have certain conversations, or they use it for community and all of that stuff, right? So there is a segment of people that's using a platform for what they supposed to use the platform for. But what I've learned on Facebook is that most people never grew up past 18 years old. Most people have never grew up past 18 years old. Don't matter if they 30, don't matter if they 40, don't matter if they 50, and it obviously doesn't matter if they 60. Most people are still stuck, and they got to high school, and that's where they at. I never thought that as I was growing up, that, because you know how you used to see the old heads and they was like Al Bundy, Polk High, 4 touchdowns in a high school game. They should have made it, but now they still stuck selling shoes at the women's department store. I was like, man, it's a lot of old heads that's really like that in real life. Honest to God. It's a lot of old heads that still, but then as I became 30, 35, 40, now I'm 43, I still see people doing the same thing. And unless somebody dies, because I graduated with about 2,000 people and only about 3 or 4 of us has died total, which is a really, really good number. Unless somebody dies, all you see is gossip and segmenting themselves. Most people don't grow past the mentality of whatever it is that they experience in high school. They hit the high school age and it's like they stop. Best years of their life, they never evolve past that. They still arguing with the same people, still beefing with the same people. And obviously, he's still getting into some situations where she feel compelled to throw his clothes out, and he throwing up. Now he done got fed up. He said, you know what? That's just the last time, Irene. That's the last time that he probably warned her. I guarantee you he warned her. He probably told her, and she didn't believe him because he ain't never did it before. He probably told her. The most he didn't ever did was grab her up, shake her, sit on her. You know what I'm saying? Tell her that he's stressing her. But I'm so tired of this. I was listening to Anton, and he said that the thing that men want the most is peace. And she said, well, you should have came in at a reasonable time. Otherwise, your clothes wouldn't be going over this balcony. And I waited for you to get here. And now I'm about to throw these clothes over and you can get up and leave because I can do good by myself. That's what Shira 7 told me. And he said, listen, you throw them clothes over, you're going to go right along with it. Wherever the clothes go. If the clothes go back in the bedroom, that's where you're going to go. If the clothes go over the balcony, that's where you're going. He'd had enough. He'd had enough. And she tested it. She threw the clothes over and he cartwheeled her monkey head right on over that balcony. And she was right there down there with them clothes. Now, I'm pretty sure that he didn't think that she was going to die, but they was on the 3rd floor. And it was in the heat of the argument. And this is what they've been doing for the last 40 years. They've been doing this for 40 plus years. He's tired of Irene. I don't come blaming me in the red pill space talking about this is what men did. I don't want to hear it.
Neighbors tell NBC7 they are still shaken up by the incident and they have concerns.
Nobody is deserving of that. You know, what he did.
I guarantee you that's what happened.
This incident happened at San Ysidro Senior Village, which the building's website describes as a senior living community for seniors 55 and older that have experienced homelessness. The property is gated, but some neighbors say that's simply not enough.
That's a heck of a facility for people that experience homelessness. Y'all see this? That looked like a place that they just built downtown.
Experienced homelessness.
San Diego and California is something else, ain't it?
The property is gated, but some neighbors say that's simply not enough. Beyond this incident, Claudia Armenta echoed the concerns stated by others about security at the property, but she is thankful for the support since the incident happened.
This morning, someone came and just to talk to my mom to see how she's doing emotionally and all that.
As people wrap their heads around what happened, Charles is choosing to hold on to the positive memories he has of his neighbor.
I just know her by Pee Wee. That's all I know. Awesome, Pee Wee, yeah. Awesome woman.
Now, anyone with any additional information should reach out to SDPD or Crime Stoppers. But for now,
we gotta be a little bit more amicable in our older age. We can't grow worse. We got to get better. We can't grow worse. We got to get better. And if yeah, I don't like that. Don't call my girl no nicknames. don't call her no nicknames. No nicknames for you. So that is what's happening over in San Diego. We decided to divest ourselves from Chicago for a second and Los Angeles for a second and talk about what's happening in San Diego. Has anybody actually been to San Diego? That's one of the places that I've never been to. I was going to go and visit. I was considering staying in San Diego during the pandemic for the weather, but then I was like, wait a minute, California is too restrictive. And then we wind up going to Florida, and that was probably a better deal. Anybody know anything about San Diego? Y'all been to San Diego? What's it like in San Diego? They say San Diego has some of the most perfect weather inside of the United States of America. What do y'all know about that? San Diego is beautiful, Shauna. Red light district. I don't know about that. That sound a little sketchy. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me see something today real quick. Hold on. Quinn keep talking about Kim ain't mine. Trying to figure out what's going on out here.
Hello.
Hey, I'm on a live stream. You busy?
Depends on how much time you need.
Nope, just about 20 seconds. So Quentin said that you're not mine. Do you agree with that?
I think that belonging to someone requires a lot of responsibility. Do you feel like you're responsible for me?
I wasn't expecting for you to ask that all of that question. Why are you so complicated?
Keeps you from getting bored.
I'll call you after the live stream. I like that answer.
Okay.
I like that. Bye. A little spicy one. A spicy woman. Interesting. Haven't ran into one of those in a while. Might be a little complicated. I don't know. I don't know about that one. That was a good answer, though. Well thought out. Anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Going on tour. The I Choose You 2 tour is coming to a city near you. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. She did that in the spirit of moment, too. That was pretty good. Used to people just saying, yes, of course. I don't know about that one. That was an interesting answer. That was good. That was a curveball. She is gamed up. Yeah, she'll look gamed up. Anyways, make sure I hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's pivot for a minute. Let's talk about Cassie. All right. Let's talk about Cassie. Now, Cassie, I get what's her name? Ventura? Cassie Ventura. Cassie has been in the news, in my opinion, way too much. All right. Way too much. I have seen more Cassie in my algorithm for accusing Diddy of being Diddy more than I've heard her albums. You know, after her testimony yesterday, and I talked about this with my friends on After Hours, after her testimony yesterday, I had to delete the Cassie albums. The Me and You, the Ryan Les collaboration, all of that. I said, man, this chick is for the streets. Absolutely for the streets. You said she got urine breath? Okay, well, let's go ahead and bring the people up to speed on what's going on with Cassie Ventura. And I'm going to break it down from my lens of what I believe is really going on. I can give you all the unedited, unfiltered version of what I think is going on. And then we're going to go from there. But let me give you all a summary of her testimony. She was a star witness of the testimony yesterday. Let's get to it.
Our witness on the stand. Let's go to Aaron Katursky. He was inside the courtroom for all of it, and he joins me now from Lower Manhattan. Aaron, this was the first time that Cassie Ventura and her ex, Sean Combs, have seen each other since 2018. What was that moment like in the courtroom?
When she walked into the room, Sean Combs appeared to look at her, but she, Eva, did not seem to look at him. And during her testimony, I'm not sure she really made eye contact with Sean Combs. She turned occasionally to her husband, Alex Fine, who was seated in the courtroom. She had other members of her family, her attorney there in support. But she recounted such graphic detail, too graphic for us to discuss here now, in such soft-spoken, matter-of-fact tones, describing degrading sexual activity that she said Sean Combs forced her into, starting when she was 22 years old, and as she called herself, naive, too naive, she said, to really understand what was going on or understand the power dynamics in the relationship. Because she said, if it turned him on, that's what they did. Her preferences weren't at all considered. And she said she was passed around and objectified by men and with other men she didn't want to be having sex with on Sean Combs's whim, describing how he wanted to set up recording equipment to record these freak-offs. She said it made me feel insane. She said it was humiliating and disgusting.
All right. Lot to unpack here, guys. The first thing that I want to unpack is, can the guys in the chat listen to what I say before you respond? I don't want you to get a little bit overzealous and jump off the bridge. I only want to find the guys in the chat that I'm identifying with right now. To the guys in the chat that feel comfortable sitting in the courtroom being a supportive husband to a woman that has been passed around in the industry and feel like you're doing the right thing and you're a real man as a result of it, please speak up. Please speak up. For the guys in the chat that love to pick up, that likes to eat after everybody else, that likes to do leftovers, 2-week-old leftovers, would you please speak up right now? Because we spoke a lot about how it's difficult, or man, I couldn't imagine that the kids would be in there listening to this as far as Diddy's children. But what about the man that was like, you know what? I love you. I appreciate. Nah, he really on the I Choose You 2 tour. Think about that for a minute. So you sitting there listening to a woman that said that she got peed on, peed in her mouth, all of this stuff, all of these graphic details, and you be like, you know what? I love you through it. What would compel a person? Because that can't be from anything but God. Maybe it's from something else. I've never seen a love like this. I can't imagine being a love like that. I'm not built for such things. Could you imagine? You got her pregnant. She's sitting on a stand pregnant, and you're putting babies in this woman who everybody's put babies in already. And for whatever reason, she just never got pregnant. I'm sure they had some form of contraception, but this is crazy. This is the craziest case that I've heard of, seen in a long time. That's number one. Number two, do you guys think that we should trust her just because she got a soft voice and she's soft-spoken? She told us that as a 22-year-old woman, which means that is the age that most women graduate from college and get a job. They've been out the house for an extended period of time. She's already had multiple boyfriends, including Ryan Leslie, that at 22 years old, she was too naive at the power dynamics and what was expected in a relationship with a person like a Diddy. Nobody is saying that the relationship wasn't toxic. Nobody, and I mean nobody. I would never argue with you if you said that Diddy was demonic and the behavior and that his Diddy tactics or whatever it is, as far as his demonic ways and his overly sexual preferences and him being gay, you'll never get an argument with me in any capacity. The only thing that I could think of as I was reading through the testimony of several people that recounted what she said inside of the courtroom was he never should have paid her the money. He never should have paid her a dollar, a dime. You're going to have to get it out of me in a civil suit. You're going to have to get it out of the company to hold it. Listen, unless he should have never, ever, ever, ever paid her a dime. Not one dime, not a dollar. This just confirms to me of what I say. You fight it until you broke. You spend every dollar on lawyers and you fight it forever. You don't pay a dime. A dime. Not one. He paid her and she still testified. The company's paid her and she still testified. I personally believe that this is one of the most demonic and deceitful people that we've ever witnessed in our entire life. And I'm not even talking about Diddy. I'm talking about Cassie. Yeah, that's the uncomfortable part, because I believe that Cassie is one of the most conniving, evil, deceitful, ugly people that we have ever witnessed in our entire life. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, oh my God, we shouldn't victim shame. No, she was Bonnie to his Clyde. She was the person, the ideal. She was the villain that got out just in time before the feds came knocking. And she was the villain. She's the bank robber that lied on the floor and acted like she was with the rest of the people. She benefited. She enjoyed it. I believe, this is my personal belief and opinion, I believe she benefited from it. She had multiple homes, properties. She enjoyed it. She enjoyed the courtside seats, the lavish lifestyle, the parties, the flights, the taking care of, and she never even really had to drop no music. Never dropped no music. And then at the end of it all, she said, you know what? I want out. She got out. She went broke. Her and her boy, because her boyfriend I ain't never heard of nothing that he providing. What is the trainer doing to provide? Went broke, came back and said, you know what? New York Survivors Act, let's get this money. Let's get this moolah, baby. She came back and was probably like, yo, I need 30 M's. And he like, man, she not about to keep on trying to finesse me and fleece me. She out of the lifestyle. She out. She out. Go ask your husband for it. And she said, nah, if you don't give it to me, I'm going to probably drop this lawsuit. And now she's considered a star witness. Only in America, only in the United States of America can you participate in what you're alleging somebody else to be doing as criminal activity, get rich off of it, and then testify as a result of it and benefit and be considered the victim. She's Helen from Troy. What was the girl that wound up getting all of the war and you know, everybody died. Achilles died. Hector, you know what I'm saying? Hector died. Everybody died from the woman that's went over in somebody else's bed. Whole wars was started over her. I honestly, in my heart, believe that she was a participant, that she was his right hand, and that she enjoyed it. 100%. 100% I believe that. I'm not going for a tier. I believe that they were both toxic. They was the previous story, except for they had money and they had power. She was beating on him. He was beating on her. I believe that they were toxic together. Miss me with the CNN footage. Once the initial shock of seeing the footage come in, oh man, that dude's crazy. He's a monster. I guarantee you, I promise you, she was probably just as destructive, just as participatory, and just as toxic as him. They was a match made in heaven. That's why he was so heartbroken about her when she decided to go with the trainer. You're never going to convince me anything other than that. I'm not believing it.
Aaron, Cassie shared that she didn't have a whole lot of sexual experience before she met Diddy. She was only 19 when she met them. There's a nearly 2 decades age difference between these two. Talk more about that power dynamic and how their relationship changed over time.
Well, she was 19 and a young singer, and Combs signed her to a 10-album deal with Bad Boy Records, so a long-term deal. And she said, Eva, that she only made 1 album. Otherwise, the freak-offs took up so much of her time that it stifled her music career. But it controlled her financially, she said. So she felt like her livelihood, her career, her life really depended on Sean Combs and keeping him happy. Otherwise, she said she feared what might happen. Now, interestingly, she talked a lot about not wanting him to break up with her. Now, whether that was because she thought he might get violent or because she would lose some of the life that she had acquired, she didn't really say. But
Listen to what we saying right now. She didn't want him to break up with her. She didn't want him to break up with her. Hey, imagine being a man. That's her baby daddy now, her husband, and her saying, and I really didn't want him to break up with me. That would just break my heart. Oh my God. She really loved this thing. She really slept with her face in between his butt. And now I'm kissing her every. She really slept with her face in between his butt cheeks at night with baby oil on her nose. Ugh. Oh. Somebody really put out their Johnson and just squatted over her face and just peed in her mouth. And that was just the end of it. Ugh. And then she said that she didn't want him to break up with her. Man, free Diddy, bro. Free Diddy. Free Diddy, man. Diddy may be guilty of a lot of things, but he's not guilty, in my opinion. It's nothing that's been presented as evidence. People's testimony, how they feel about him, whether or not they're trying to finesse him and get some money out of it. No. I'm standing on what I stood on from the very beginning of this thing, and I'm going to say it again. Free Diddy. Am I the only content creator with a decent amount of following that's willing to say it out loud? Or is everybody going to be politically correct? Am I the only person that got the balls to say it out loud based off of the evidence that has been presented? Or is everybody just going to be silent about it and act like they don't know what's going on? I don't believe in my heart that Diddy is guilty of the thing that they are trying to charge him with. I don't believe it. I believe that everybody that participated was consensual and they participated on their own free will and that they truly wanted to be a part of the Diddlers parties. Everybody knew about it. Everybody still wanted to go. Nobody was complaining about it.
But we know that the defense is expected to argue that, sure, Sean Combs and Cassie had a toxic, violent relationship. The defense has called her a strong, adult woman who made a voluntary choice.
Aaron, you were in that courtroom. These details were a lot. What was the jury's reaction hearing her testimony?
It's really hard to read the jury. Most of them are pretty stone-faced. There was one woman who did seem to be following along. She would occasionally smirk at the mention of baby oil or lubricant, which was used so frequently that, as Ventura described it, the hotel rooms where these freak-offs occurred were left in complete disarray. There was candle wax and oil everywhere. But most of the jurors sat stone-faced, listening to what amounts to the humiliating recollection of a decade's worth of a woman's sex life.
Aaron, what can we expect to see in court tomorrow?
More of the same. Cassie Ventura ended her testimony today, taking jurors to a moment they've already seen video of, what happened in the Los Angeles hotel in March of 2016. The jury had already seen the video, but they saw it again with Cassie narrating it, saying, "That's me," pointing to herself on video and telling the jury this was the first and only time she tried to escape a freak-off before Sean Combs declared it over. She said she got hit by Combs, she had a black eye, and she wanted to leave. But when she tried to, as the jury saw in video, he dragged her back.
Did they ask her what happened leading up to that situation in the first place? And again, I'm never going to justify or advocate for somebody to put their hands on anybody. Y'all have heard me say it 1,000 times on this show and on other platforms. Keep your hands to yourself. But I also believe that she was complicit and participatory in being toxic, assaulting, putting her hands on him. And also, I believe that she was complicit in as an adult agreeing to and providing extra services to the whole freak off situation. More importantly, I haven't heard anything, not one thing whatsoever, that would lead me to believe that there's racketeering and trafficking. I don't believe it. I don't hear anything. I don't see anything. And two things can be true. Somebody could be ugly. Somebody could be demonic, but we all need the burden of proof to rest on the state and the feds and the court of law in order for somebody to be convicted as guilty. And I don't see anything that would lead me to believe that. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Am I off? Am I off? I'm just curious. Am I off? She probably wanted him to marry her. She probably wanted more out of him. She probably wanted him to commit. She probably got jealous at the fact that he was still with other women. Here, let me tell you what probably happened. I think she grew out of, because things had become so toxic and the freak offs had gotten so bad. I think that she was like, all right, you know what? I don't want to do it anymore, but I still want the lifestyle. I think you owe me to continue to fund my lifestyle while I run over with this dancer. And he said, nope, F you, get the F out. And I don't want to rock with you unless you rocking with me 100%. He probably got jealous. He couldn't believe it. And so he told her, no, I'm not giving you a payout. If you're going to leave, then leave and take everything that came with you, because I never married you. I think she grew out of it and was like, you know what? I don't want to do it anymore. And so I'm going to rock out. And he was like, okay, well, if you leave, take everything you came with and leave the bank book on the table and also leave all of these properties that I got. And that's what set it off. Where's my visual? I believe that's what set it off. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's see what we got here. Am I lagging? Am I lagging? I don't like this. This is why I like to go to the studio. That's why I like to go Are we back yet? Let me double check to make sure I'm back in the mix. I hate streaming from home so bad. Are we back? All right. All right. Let's go ahead and rock. Had to reset the whole router. Let me read these super chats. Mr. Robinson says, Anton. Well, hold on. Let me put on my banner. All right, cool. Anton, from one fire sign to another. I dated a Gemini before. There's more curveballs coming. It's a cute, but a little annoying, but fun though. I don't know. I'm a little old for that type of fun. J Ben says, I need that. I choose you too, tour design on the back of a t-shirt. Bet. Just Christian says Cassie equal black. Ghislaine Maxwell. DVG says if you aren't responsible for your wife, you aren't her husband. Husbandry is the management and conversation of resources. Wives are those resources. Interesting. Aaron L says women keep plausible deniability and a veil of innocence that allow them to switch things up later when it's convenient. Power dynamics, I call it BS. Chris Cunningham says, can you play that Dave Chappelle skit when he was R. Kelly? I can't play it because then it's going to mess up the stream even more. Aaron L says victimhood needs to come with integrity. Let's see what we got. Dre with the K says it's crazy how they always say girls mature faster than guys, but they're naive until they're damn near 40 when something happens and it will tarnish their image. Alan Trent says you didn't believe it at first. Mr. Robinson says, remember that a woman who slept with 1,000 men? Cassie was like, that's nothing. Hold my beer. Alan Trent says, is the video not evidence enough? No, the video does not indicate racketeering. Mr. Robinson says, free Diddy. Man, what? Alan, where do you own? Are you a feminist? Are you trans? What are you, bro? What's wrong with y'all? Mr. Robinson says, free Diddy, Anton, I don't believe you. You have to put that baby oil on your hair like 2K to know if it's real. Cassie ain't no different than an IG Dubai porta potty thotty. Anton, I agree with you, says Maurice. Thank you. So I'm not crazy. High Tolerance says, good morning, AD. Hubby tasting all of the flavors. She was broken in 250,000 miles ago. Like Jodeci, this broad was a show, the after party. And that's one of my favorite albums, too. I got that on my device. George Everett says, dude is a straight simp because ain't no way she got slutted out and he married her. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Cassie turned the Wi-Fi off. Maybe. I don't see nothing wrong. Imagine preparing her physically to perform well. I just couldn't see it. I couldn't do it. It's, God give everybody a different lot in life and the things that they need to prepare for. I'm just not it. I'm not built for that. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Trump. Now, we all know that Trump was over in Saudi Arabia for at least 3 days. And, everything is happening. Things is popping off over there. But they saying that Trump is truly being treated like a king. They say that Trump is getting that king treatment over there. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about the way that Trump is treated over there versus the way that he's treated over here? Let me give you an example of exactly how they're treating Trump over there in Saudi Arabia. Wait a minute. What happened to all of my layouts? Let me refresh this really quickly. Let me see something. I don't see none of. There we go. Not happy about it. Not happy about it. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the show. Make sure I hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Arabia has rolled out the red carpet for Donald Trump. Yes, the US president was given a royal welcome fit for Saudi Arabia. Customs went out the window for Trump's trip as he was personally greeted by the Saudi Crown Prince, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, on the tarmac and escorted to his motorcade.
I heard they had a bunch
This
of
was a
Tesla
complete
trucks over there, too.
180-degree turn in Arabia, where the prince sent a representative to meet with him and none of the fanfare that Trump received. Online commentators were quick to pick up on the vast...
Wait. So wait, they didn't actually personally greet and represent and give Biden any kind of royal treatment at all? I see Quentin's comments. I see Quentin. Of course I see Quentin. They didn't give, so wait a minute. They sent a representative to go and to come and kick it with Biden, but then with Trump, they actually personally met him and greeted him. That's so disrespectful.
Arabia, where the prince sent a representative to meet with him and none of the fanfare that Trump received. Online commentators were quick to pick up on the vast differences in respect for the two presidents. This commentator said, "Look at the welcome ceremony for President Trump in Saudi Arabia. Now remember, the Saudi Crown Prince did not meet Biden at the airport. He made Biden come to meet him. America is back." And Trump's royal treatment didn't stop at the airport. He was given a motorcade surrounded by horses and American flags down the streets of Saudi Arabia. And as the ultimate sign of respect, the Crown Prince personally drove Trump to the birthplace of the nation in a buggy surrounded by ceremonial performances.
You got the Coming to America treatment. I feel like that's the way that people should be treating me when I come back into Detroit. I think that's how I'm going to be, how we going to have it to where I'm greeted when I come out here to the house. Yeah, to this house. What do you mean to this house? Yes, why wouldn't we have a whole parade every time I arrive home? What do you think about that? I can have whatever I want. All right. I like that. Okay, now we getting somewhere. Get a royal budget. Hold on, wait a minute, Robin. Robin with a Y. What do you mean, give us a break, Anton? What is that supposed to mean, Miss Polk? Give you a break on what? Do you not greet your Royal Highness with frankincense and myrrh when he comes in through the house from working his job all day long? So y'all don't give the royal... so you just... Don't worry, you just show up in a bonnet. You know what? I don't really care. I'm tired.
This commentator was floored by the spectacle, saying Trump is now being driven around the birthplace of Saudi Arabia by the Crown Prince himself. The level of respect shown here is unprecedented. Trump then stole the show again with his historic speech at the Saudi Investment Forum, which promoted world peace and renewed partnerships in the region.
The transformations have been unbelievably remarkable. Before our eyes, a new generation of leaders is transcending the ancient conflicts of tired divisions of the past and forging a future where the Middle East is defined by commerce, not chaos, where it exports technology, not terrorism, and where people of different nations, religions, and creeds are building cities together, not bombing each other out of existence. We don't want that.
Thank you, Stanley.
And he even stamped his American flavor onto the conference, walking out to his God Bless America rally music and a standing ovation by the Saudis.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me.
Well, he did say that. He said when he would become president, he was going to force the world to respect us again, instead of looking down on us and thinking that we're not worth even having a conversation with. He said that he would store world order, that leaders all across the world would start to praise us again, that would give us the respect that we deserve as Americans. The only thing that we got to do is we just got to get the people over here in America, all of these liberals and all of these women that support Jasmine Crockett, we got to get them to respect us. We got to get them back online. It says a prophet, the word says a prophet, he gets no honor in their own home. A prophet gets no honor in their own home. We don't even respect our own leadership here in the United States of America. They too busy trying to stage sit-ins and trying to overtake ICE facilities instead of acknowledging that Trump is winning. I know y'all so tired of us winning. I know y'all was so aggravated. You're so disgusted that inflation is continuing to go down. It's going down past the 2.3%. Inflation is approaching under 2%. We are getting trade deals done. People are respecting the United States of America. They're giving a royal treatment everywhere. We so tired of winning. Imagine what the country, how much more progressive the country is going to be in 3 years. Imagine how much more progressive the country is going to be in 3 years. You're going to be so aggravated that it's going to be jobs. You're not going to be able to be on Medicare, Medicaid. Your social services and your food stamps going to be cut off. You're going to be forced to be a productive adult. People ain't going to be able to call Americans lazy anymore. And you're so disgusted. People are aggravated. I don't see anybody, no liberals. Yo, I've browsed, I've went through, I've looked at all of the social media sites, Instagram, TikTok, and all of that stuff, and they don't have nothing to stand on. They have zero to say. Zero. They don't have nothing to stand on. Ain't it crazy? In less than 120 days, he silenced everybody. All critics. Everybody. They can't say that we the party of war. They can't say that we don't have investments coming in the United States of America. They can't say that we not respected. All they can continue to say is, we don't like Elon Musk. We don't like Teslas. Oh, they so aggravated.
With YMCA as the Crown Prince met him on stage.
You have a tremendous future. Thank you very much. And please pay my respects to your father.
You see Elon Musk sitting in the background?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
This is crazy.
Online commentators were in disbelief, with this person saying, "Let's go." YMCA blast through the entire room after Trump's speech in Saudi Arabia. Truly a sign of the golden age. And after an uplifting summit, Trump's Saudi Arabia trip was topped off by a strategic economic partnership with the nation, where both leaders signed off on $600 billion in investments, $110 billion in defense deals, and joint AI, energy, and infrastructure projects under Vision 2030.
Well, a lot of people can't say that he's not a deal maker anymore. Listen. A lot of people can say a lot of things. We don't even want y'all to talk no more. Just be quiet. Complain about your baby daddy. Complain about women's rights. Argue over paternity tests. I got a whole channel that's dedicated for y'all for that. But as far as politics, as far as winning, as far as respect for the United States of America, we're going to go ahead and take that respect, and we want y'all to just be quiet. Just be quiet. Let the adults do what we do, and let us fix the economy. Let us fix everything. Let us take care of business. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Courtney Egger says, what's good, AD? Trump is big dog out here. Big dog. Big dog. Stanley Cabinet says, I love your show. Thank you, big dog. I appreciate you. My guy says, Abundance Mindset. I'm good on Cassie. I couldn't do it. Call me what you want. I'm out. I guess it's for some. I guess it's someone, not everyone. Yeah, I'm straight. I'm straight. You know, the thing about men is that most guys, not me, but most guys, they'll bust down a chick that's been bust down 1,000 times, but they don't want to think about that being their wife. That's usually a threshold that our Caucasian brothers have transitioned through. Our Caucasian brothers are willing to share their wives, and they're willing to watch. That's something that Diddy has truly embraced. But as far as what we concerned with, nope. I do want to actually listen to Trump's speech at the Saudi Investment Forum, and I want to see what he had to say. So give me a second. Let me see if I could find that really quickly. I know Elon Musk spoke at the Saudi Investment Forum. Let me see what Elon Musk had to say real quick. Hold on one second. Elon Musk still doing this thing. He don't care nothing about that. He said, listen, we're going to be up here in these streets. Let me see what Elon Musk had to say first.
We can do a better welcome than that to Elon Musk in Saudi Arabia. There you go. That's the spirit.
Thank you.
Elon, my dear friend, we're honored to have President Trump. We're honored under the sponsorship and guidance of His Royal Highness to celebrate a U.S.-Saudi and a Saudi-U.S. relationship that is 92 years old, about how we move from an oil-based economy to an innovation-based economy powered by wonderful technologies that definitely you're one of the pioneers in this industry. We just showed to His Royal Highness some of your Optimus robots.
Yeah.
And to President Trump.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Tell me about them.
Yes, so we just showed several of our Tesla Optimus robots to His Highness and President Trump, and I think they were very impressed. In fact, one of our robots did the Trump dance, which I think was pretty cool.
The YMCA, yeah?
Yeah, to YMCA. So yeah, our robots can dance, they can walk around, they can interact. I think we're headed to a radically different world. I think a good world, an interesting world. My prediction actually for humanoid robots is that ultimately there will be tens of billions. I think everyone will want to have their personal robot. You can think of it like as though you had your own personal C-3PO or R2-D2, but even better. Then who wouldn't want to have their own personal C-3PO, R2-D2? That would be pretty great.
I can't wait to get my hands on a robot. I'm going to be the first person in line to get myself a Tesla robot. This is what I was telling y'all inside of the Patreon as far as the difference between companies, because you can't just look at Tesla, and I'm not going to deep dive into it. I don't want to talk. Of course, I'm not going to talk about all of the things that I mined out or that we mine out inside of the Patreon and the Discord as far as what you should invest in. But I will say this, that Tesla is not just a car company. These small little protests that you see, these little disruptions that you're seeing, that doesn't really mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. Tesla is a technology company. And I think that their robots combined with AI and the mapping, and then also using all of the data that he used. Because see, people think that he bought Twitter, X formerly known as Twitter, because he wanted to just remove censorship. No, more than one thing is true at the same time. I think that he understood the importance of controlling free speech and making sure that people can get off their thoughts without being censored. I think that he's seeing an opportunity in the company itself, but more importantly, they have so much data that was at Twitter that helped advance Grok, which is their AI tool that they use on Twitter, as well as informed what we're going to be leveraging the information and the technology for in order to train AI for these Tesla robots. I think that was the real play. The real play for Twitter was the information so that they can ultimately train these robots and then obviously with the approval and all of the less restriction from the Trump administration to ultimately deploy these things. And that's what a real play is going to be. The real play is the subscription-based services that you're going to get that ultimately comes with the selling of these robots. I don't care about cars. Cars are a temporary profit driver for what they're truly investing in long term. Again, people let their emotions control the best of them when they feel a certain type of way or something, instead of looking at it long term, looking at the 10-year, looking at the 20-year view. 100% everybody, no matter how much they watch iRobot and they look at Will Smith and all of that, I am going to be the first person in line. I am not the type of person that believes that you can stop technology from evolving. We just going to keep on embracing it until it ultimately kills us, but I'm definitely going to get rich off of it in the meantime, 100%. The Tesla bot is going to be, did you hear these people? What makes you even ask me? I'm going to answer that question. I just looked over and I seen that. Jesse Rich says, have you ever put your hands on your wife, Anton? Answer the question. I absolutely have. I put it on her booty. I put my hands on her titties. Y'all don't want to know nothing else, do y'all? Of course I have. Grabbed her by her feet, said, get over here. Open up them legs. Said, oh my God. 100%. Who don't? Of course I am. Absolutely. Who are you talking to? Get in here. You're a little sleepy. Take them clothes off. Let me see what's going on. 100%. And as a matter of fact, we got a new tour coming. It's called the I Choose You Tour. For all of the women that have not had hands put on them, I am going to be there. Are you coming on the I Choose You tour? You're only going to be accompanying me on certain dates, right? You don't know? Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. I Choose You tour coming up soon. Anyways, let's get back focused on the things that matter. I know that people are trying to derail us. Have you ever put your hands on your chick? 100%. Absolutely. Bend over. Let's continue, y'all. Let's see what Elon Musk has to say at the Saudi investment forum.
I also think it unlocks an immense amount of economic potential, because when you think about, like, what is the output of an economy, it is productivity per capita times population or capita. Once you have humanoid robots, the actual economic output potential is tremendous. It's really unlimited. Potentially, we could have an economy 10 times the size of the current global economy, where no one wants for anything. Sometimes in AI they talk about universal basic income. I think it's actually going to be universal high income, where anyone can have any goods or services that they want. A science fiction book recommendation that I have, which I think is probably the best envisioning of an AI future, is the culture books by Ian Banks. Very highly recommended for a
how much money we're going to be having
view
to
of the
generate,
future.
and that we're going to have to tax these companies in order to have universal high income. I don't like that. I don't like it, because then it kind of removes capitalism and it allows for everybody to go into Wall-E mode. I don't like it.
Now, there obviously are some risks, which illustrate perhaps if we don't do this right, you could have like a James Cameron sort of movie Terminator. We don't want that one. But having sort of a Star Trek future would be great, where we're out there exploring the stars, discovering the nature of the universe, and a level of prosperity and hopefully happiness that we can't quite imagine yet. So I'm very excited about the future and very glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's our absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
And His Royal Highness was talking to you about his vision and his dream to increase productivity for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and power up.
Hey, did anybody buy Tesla at around 200? You could have got Tesla at 138 on April 22nd, 2024. Did anybody get Tesla like I told y'all to? Did anybody get Tesla this year like I told y'all to? The 52-week low was at $167 a share when everybody was whining and complaining. And it was down more than 33% of its all-time high on December 17th, 2024, after Trump won the president of the United States of America. Tesla is at $300.23 a share. Did anybody capitalize off of this like they were supposed to? Outside of the bag chasers, outside of the Patreon members. The Patreon paid for itself for life for some people already. The Patreon has paid for itself for life for some people. Forget all of this other stuff. Did y'all get Tesla at $167 a share or no? While all of the pink hair, purple hair, crazy people, trans people, gay people, laid off people were protesting Tesla, did you guys go and capitalize now that it's at $323 a share? I hope Elon Musk goes broke. Okay, right. Okay, I got you. Bitcoin is over $103,000. Yo. We have to continue the dollar cost average. If you don't know what that is, make sure you tap into the Patreon link is in the description. We have to continue the dollar cost average. Stop being so easily finesse and dusty and start figuring out where the money is. Oh, now everybody is quiet. Don't nobody want to say nothing no more. Everybody is shh. Everybody is on some shh. When I bought some live, when I said that I was going to continue to buy into it, everybody, Anton, you stupid. I can't wait to drop. Oh, so now we don't have the dummies listening to Jasmine Crockett for financial advice. No need to say says, but when will they invest in black-owned businesses? It's a publicly traded company. It is a black-owned business if you invest in it. Your equity in it makes it black-owned. Duh. The work has already been done for you. All we got to do is make sure as voting members and then the board oversees whoever it is running the company as a CEO. The companies are black-owned when you buy into them, because you then become the owners of it. You don't have to do the legwork. We're past that. Listen. Get out of the 1960s for anybody listening to this right now. If you want to have a Italian-owned business, if you want to have a white-owned business, if you want to have an Asian-owned business, if you want to have a black-owned business, whatever you want to call it, you want to have a gay business, cool. Buy stocks. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. We don't discriminate. If you want to have a sassy business, you want to have a woman-owned business, you want to have a men-owned business, you want to have whatever you want to call it, there's no discrimination for you buying into the companies that ultimately give off the profits and make you super rich. Guess what? Money in capitalism has no color. It has no color. Nobody cares about whether you are black owned or white owned. We only care about lifestyle, having a good time. But we past that. We are past the race baiting. We're past the race talk. The only thing we care about is having a good time, running up a bag, and then hopefully not getting over sexualized and then becoming Diddy. It's all the same. You see the Saudis over there having a conversation with Trump. Do you think that they care about whether or not you're black, you're white, or any of that type of stuff? They focus on whether or not you're going to run up a bag. They making over a $600 billion, $700 billion. Trump over there trying to get $1 trillion investment into the United States of America, and they dancing a YMCA. You know why? Because they're like, hey, we're going to get richer. We got to, you know what the Saudis are thinking? The Saudis are thinking, listen, we got this black gold under our feet, and we done got really, really rich. How do we secure the future for generations to come? Looks like we're going to have to do business with America. Looks like we're going to have to invest in emerging technologies. Looks like we're going to have to make a capital investment in AI. We have to take this thing that we're making money from, and we got to create what the future is going to be, and we got to invest in it because we want to be a part of it. That's why they respect Trump, is because he looks at it from a business perspective. They don't care nothing about all of this extra stuff that's going on. Ain't nobody trying to war no more. Ain't nobody trying to fight y'all. We trying to get money so that we can do what we want to do, and we can make sure that our kids don't have to pay for student loans. People tired. They tired, boss. People's tired, boss. If you tired of being on the Democrat, oh, it's me. Oh, I'm gonna sing me a Negro spirit. You know why black fatigue is why they call it black fatigue? Is because people are tired, boss. They don't care about your victim Olympics. They trying to figure out how they can run up a bag, pay off their car, live the life that they want to live, not have no house note, and be taken on vacations. Ain't nobody trying to get caught up in that nonsense. People tired of being broke. They tired of struggling. And they trying to figure, okay, wait a minute. So we've been doing this black thing, this protesting, this Black Lives Matters. We've been painting streets, and ain't no dividend checks came as a result of it. How many of your businesses got invested in as a result of your Black Lives Matters? How much funding do you guys have? How many of you guys actually got an opportunity to pay off your house because of Black Lives Matters? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Do you know what racism is? It's a way to keep you distracted from the things that you're supposed to be doing so you can really become successful. That's all it is. That's all it is. Any ism is usually going to be a thing that distracts you. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody. Y'all was out there painting that street for nothing, and then they just unpainted it recently. Power washed it. Got all of the doo-doo from the side of the road, and now people is back to normal. And they made you come back into the office. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. Anyways, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats. Wesley Turner says, Trump getting Alexander the Great treatment. Facts. I can't wait to get mine. Elon will recover just fine when the Saudis invest. Oh, he already, Elon was never unrecovered. Let me see something. I think that Elon Musk is a trillionaire already. Not just from Tesla, from the stake that he has in these private companies that also have its own valuation. Let me see something. Let me go over here and see if I can find out something. Yep, Elon Musk is still worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Still worth it. I don't think he's really tripping about it. He's over there taking trips and kicking it with the Saudis. I think he's worth over $1 trillion if you truly capitalize, if you truly know how much all the rest of his companies is worth. I think he is. Hey, D, check your Cash App. What y'all got over here on Cash App, Clayhart? What we got going on? Shout out to Clay, says I'm not able to send super chats on YouTube. What is going on, Clay? What's happening? I'll look at it. Let me look at it. Victor Williams says, Bubs, Big Tough in the chat talking about answer the question. Probably started hyperventilating talking about that. And then they probably didn't like my answer either. Fellas, will you kiss Cassie for $200? That's all it takes. Money isn't racist at all. Clay Hart says, what do you think about AMD? Oh, let's look at it. Y'all trying to get me to do a advanced micro devices. Y'all trying to get me to do a Patreon live stream to tell y'all exactly what I think? 1 month, 6 months. And 6 months has been down over 14.5%. Year to date is down 1%. 1 year is down negative 22%. And 5 years, it's only up 118%. 5 days is up 16%. 1 day, 5%. 1 month, 25%. I'd have to do a little bit more researching. But then part of the reason that they jumped over 15% is that they announced a $6 billion buyback. And that's what made their shares jump over 6%. So don't fall for that right away. Don't fall for that right away. Anyways, I'm not going to get into it right now. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. I wouldn't invest in AMD right off the bat. Just because you're doing a stock buyback in order to inflate the stock don't necessarily mean that it's a great company. I'd have to deep dive into it. Red Cup says, which side are you on? Head ass people, vote green with the orange man. Mika gonna come to Detroit. We about to hang out pretty soon. Courtney Egger says, since I joined the Patreon, my $100 from my 9 to 5 investment now has got me about $6,000 and just a few months light work. Just wait till I get this content bread on top of that. Shout out to Courtney Egger. Warlord for King says, one of the 5 domains of warfare and the continued dominance of it by the U.S. is completely dependent on Elon to provide space capabilities. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for continuing to hold me down. Thank y'all for contributing into the platform. What do we want to talk about right now? What do we have? So we talked about the man throwing a woman off the balcony, Cassie's testimony, Trump being treated like a king, Elon Musk talking about the Saudi investment forum. Let's talk about Medicaid and Medicare. How about that? Because recently I've seen a lot of people, no. Before we get into that, let's talk about the sanctions that Trump is lifting off of Syria. And then we'll talk about Medicaid, Medicare. Should we talk about Medicaid and Medicare or should we talk about Syria? No, I don't want to talk about Syria right away. Let's talk about the Medicare and Medicaid cuts, because I don't think people really care about Syria right now. Let's talk about Medicare and Medicaid cuts, and then we'll go from there. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel.
Look now of the Capitol Dome this morning. A little bit of a gray start to the day in the nation's capital. You've got 3 House committees set to hold what are called markups today on a budget reconciliation bill aimed at advancing President Trump's agenda. A newly released plan from House Republicans would slash spending by at least $880 billion, and much of those cuts would come from Medicaid. The plan would also add new eligibility requirements for the healthcare program. CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian joins us now from Capitol Hill with more on this. Good morning to you, Nicole. What else is in this new plan and what's driving it?
Yeah, well, as we've been discussing for several months now, this is the president's so-called one big beautiful bill that really packages all of his legislative priorities into one. So it includes more funding, for instance, for the border, for energy, and also an extension of his tax cuts. But in order to pay for it, some of those savings have to come from other areas. And so that's why you are seeing, for instance, in the case of the Energy Commerce Committee, which will be marking up a bill, they have to slash upwards of $880 billion. And some of that, as you mentioned, might be coming from Medicaid. Now, under the proposal that was released by the committee, we know that it includes this new community engagement mechanism that would require some Medicaid recipients to work up to 80 hours per month or volunteer or attend school. Also, there is a provision in there, for instance, that would prohibit some funding to states, for instance, that pay for undocumented immigrants who may be on Medicaid. There are other changes to provider tax that has been part of the Medicaid program, which will kind of affect the funding there. So there are various proposals aimed at slashing this. Republicans insist that this really will not directly impact those who are on Medicaid in terms of, pregnant women, the elderly, people who rely on this, that this is not about trying to take away their benefits. However, many Democrats argue that these cuts would really be detrimental not only to recipients, but also to states, and could potentially lead to millions of people becoming uninsured.
And Nicole, this will hit low-income Americans in red and blue states. So I'm wondering how lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are reacting to these planned cuts to Medicaid.
Yeah, well, as I just mentioned, Republicans, their primary aim, they say, is really to reduce waste, fraud, and abuse, try to make the program more efficient, make sure people aren't getting over on the system. But again, many Democrats warn that these cuts could be catastrophic. In fact, the Congressional Budget Office did an analysis, and that is Frank Pallone, there, the ranking member on the Energy and Commerce Committee, who again said
Democrats have to stop saying this same slogan. It's not going to work. So they can give tax breaks to billionaires and corporate interests. Y'all got it. Everybody is numb today. You got to give a different ring to it. You got to say it differently or something. Nobody believes you. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
The Democrats are going to try to fight to stop this bill, but obviously it doesn't necessarily need Democratic votes to pass. This can be done single-handedly by Republicans, as is often the case with these budget bills. But as I mentioned, Congressional Budget Office analysis did find that potentially upwards of 8 million people could potentially become uninsured if this bill becomes law. So that's why Democrats are aimed at trying to stop it. Republicans obviously want to turbocharge the president's agenda, so they want to move forward with this.
I thought that Obamacare was supposed to solve the healthcare crisis. No? What happened to Obamacare? Obamacare didn't solve the healthcare crisis? So if you are not a senior and you are not disabled or you are not handicapped and you are an able-bodied adult that can go to work every day, in order for you to qualify, and this is what some people were saying, and I was kind of doing a little bit of research of what was happening, you have to work, volunteer, or attend school to stay on it. Now, what is wrong with any of that in order for people to continue to stay on it so that they can eventually get themselves off of it? Some of the biggest fraud that we have here in the United States of America comes by way of Medicare and Medicaid. If you are not old, handicapped, disabled, and you are an able-bodied adult, in order for you to qualify, the new eligibility requirements also include that you either have to work, volunteer, or attend school. So again, I'm trying to understand what the problems is with that. Why are people complaining about that? Why do they want these entitlement programs to stay with them for the rest of their life? I just found out the other day that You don't have to. You can actually pass Section 8 over into the next, like your daughters and the kids, like it's a pension or something. I didn't know that.
$1 billion. It would help cover and preserve about $4.5 trillion in tax breaks in President Trump's budget bill. Those were approved during his first term in 2017. They're expiring at the end of the year. A preliminary estimate from the Congressional Budget Office says the proposal would reduce the number of people with health care by 8.6 million over the decade. CBS News congressional reporter Torian Small joins us now. Torian, what's the reaction to this from lawmakers on both sides?
Well, Lindsay, expectantly from Democrats, we saw House leadership, especially in the Democratic ranks, come out and say that this is a disaster for Americans, a part of this crucial safety net program. In fact, Frank Pallone, who is the ranking Democrat on the House Energy and Commerce Committee, that's the panel that has these safety net programs in its purview. He said that this could impact and take health care away from tens of millions of Americans. It's not just Democrats, though, that are potentially worried about the impact to these safety net programs. Derek Van Orden, the Republican congressman from Wisconsin, put out a point of order last week encouraging Republicans to slow down on these negotiations for this budget bill. He argued that they should look at protecting Medicaid and preserving SNAP, so federal food stamp programs, in whatever resolution that they put forward for this reconciliation bill, because he knows it impacts many of his constituents. Republican leadership, though, House Speaker Mike Johnson said that, look, they are looking to cut about $880 billion in what he's calling fraud, waste, and abuse from the Medicaid program, not looking to take away this crucial service to those who need it.
In addition to potential cuts, what changes are being planned for eligibility and funding?
Yeah, a big thing that Republicans are looking to add to Medicaid program is work requirements. This is something that Republicans have been talking about for a while now, especially when it comes to these safety net programs. But specifically here, they're looking to include work requirements or schooling requirements for those enrolled in this program. They would also require, if you don't qualify for either of those, about 80 hours a month of volunteer work, so community engagement programs in order to be eligible for this. Again, Democrats are saying that this is just another excuse or another way for Republicans to kick off people and die.
Wait. So you shouldn't be able to do volunteer work or go to work or go to school. You should just get it just because you. So what's unreasonable about you going to be in a crossing guard or volunteering at a school or helping out at a community center and being a participant in your community? I'm still trying to understand what's so bad about that.
Dire need of this program from this social net service.
The House Ways and Means Committee is planning to increase the cap for the state and local tax deduction known as SALT to $30,000 for filers who make $400,000 or less. It comes after 4 lawmakers vocally rejected the proposal last week. Remind us what the SALT cap is and what are their concerns.
Yeah, this would essentially provides deduction for those high state and local taxes for states like California, for Texas, for New York, which is why we've seen Republicans really hold the line, at least just a handful of them hold the line when it comes to negotiations because they're unsatisfied with this $30,000 proposal. It's interesting. There's a crucial juxtaposition between how Speaker Johnson categorizes these negotiations, saying just this morning that he believes things are going in a positive direction. But members, especially Republican members of what's known as the SALT caucus, are saying that this proposal, this leaked proposal, what they are saying is a slap in the face. This isn't done in good faith, and they want a more fair deal when it comes to these SALT deductions. What they're looking at is essentially a one-to-one. They want these federal deductions to essentially equal the amount, and especially in these high state and local taxes.
Torian Small, thank you.
So no more handouts, no more none of that. Everybody got to stand on their own 2 feet, and everybody's got to take care of business. I'm not understanding what the problem is. Why do people complain? Shout out to the people that gave me a happy birthday gift. Anton, the
They
greatest.
laughed at me when I used the pink salt trick, but after I dropped
Anton, the greatest bag chaser. Hope that you have had a great birthday. We here at the Idaho Bag Chaser Academy appreciate all that you do, Bag Chasers for Life. Shout out to my people, the Idaho Bag Chasers. Oh, snap. Shout out to everybody that says something. Idaho Bag Chasers at What's Your Best Offer, Divine Diamond Driving, Box Truck Rich, Mac Barber and Bo, Beauty in the Ray. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. Oh, y'all sent me some dollars. Send me some $2 bills. I'm gonna have to preserve these. These is crispy. These is like new. When was these made? $2017? Wow. I think the date on these is like 2017. Wow, you guys are very thoughtful. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for holding me down. These are brand spanking new, fam. Have y'all ever looked at money and looked at the symbolism in money? $2 bills is considered good luck. Y'all keep a $2 bill in your wallet at all times. They're going to mean a lot in the future. So everybody collecting $2 bills. Shout out to my dog Preston. I appreciate y'all at the Idaho Bag Chasers. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to everybody that continues to hold me down. You guys are awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Somebody said, what if they were fake? Well, they're not fake. They smell good. And the card is beautiful. Thank you, guys. And it's the thought that counts. The fact that somebody thought about you enough to actually take their time out to sign a card and send it to you. It's very, very, very good. Thomas Jefferson is on the $2 bill. Y'all also said a black man is on the back of it. Is on the It's the Declaration of Independence. It's like a sweet too. Sweet. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Let's go over to, well, let me read a couple of these super chats. Is it late to buy Tesla? Never. Never. I think you should dollar cost average 100%. You should automate the investment process. AD, I need that content creator part 2 on the Patreon is going down Saturday. Not Saturday, maybe Sunday. Because Saturday I got to do something in particular. You know, we on tour. Saturday we got to do something on particular. I might have some other activities happening as we on tour. So maybe Sunday. I think Sunday is probably better. Daniel Smith says they also punish people to work to get off of it. How can they punish you to work to get off of it? Work is not a punishment. Work is not a punishment. Stop acting like work is a punishment. Joshua Daniel says, I'm in the military and back in school to increase my income. I became debt-free last year and built my savings back to $20K in my HYSA. Want to learn how to invest? Would it be better to pick up a book or a coaching call? Would it be better to book a coaching call or the Bag Chasers? Bag Chasers. We talk about it extensively. The Chasers. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Shout out to you for building up your savings. All right, let me see something. Oh, okay. Hold on. The Wall Street Journal. Let's see if I can pull this up to you guys. I can't find it. WAG. Let's see if I can find this real quick. Hold on, I got you. Let me share my screen with you guys really quickly. See if I can get this up there for you. Stop, present, share. Here, let me see if I can share this with you guys really quickly. So the Wall Street Journal recently did an article to say that basically AOC was strongly considering running for president of the United States of America in 2028. I wish I had my clapping sound because I think that would be awesome. That would be one of the greatest things that happened to us in order to maintain the White House supremacy. So it's basically saying Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez rise to prominence, worrisome Democrats who say the base is taking the wrong lessons from the 2024 election. So basically, they are dedicated to trying to push this onto you guys. They really want somebody. They want a woman, specifically of color, to become president of the United States of America. It says AOC was standing in front of thousands of angry Democrats, urging them to get behind the candidates willing to brawl, even if it means unseating members of their own party. She said, "We need a Democratic Party that fights harder for us," the 35-year-old New Yorker said to the applause at a recent rally in the battleground of Arizona, at another event on her Western tour with Bernie Sanders, who, by the way, they were both taking private jets. The crowd periodically chanted, "Primary Chuck, Primary Chuck." That is so weak. Goes on to say, encouraging her to challenge Senator Chuck Schumer from New York. AOC hasn't made a decision on her future, but isn't ruling anything out, including the primary of the Senate Majority Leader or even president, even a presidential bid, according to a person familiar with her thinking. After bruising losses in November, Democrats have struggled to consolidate power around a strategy to take on Trump, even as voters across the ideological spectrum beg them to do more. She has emerged as one of the party's leading voices, but some Democrats worry she'll turn off the centrist voters they need to win competitive races. And so it goes on to say that she raised nearly $10 million in first quarter 2025, which is one of the reasons that they went on tour. Here's her and Bernie Sanders acting like they really do love and care for each other, and they are on tour on the oligarchy tour. And they're advocating for higher taxes on people that make over a certain amount of money. And so you can see all of the people in the crowd. Some people have on a rainbow shirt. Other people on the left-hand side, he has on a bandana. Looks like he just got out of a workout with Richard Simmons. And we see all of these pale hands inside of the tour. I don't see one black face in the crowd. Not one. I see people of color, but I don't see one black face in the crowd. Congratulations, black people. You have finally done something that I agree with. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys something that I seen that I think that will probably better summarize what's going on, but it also started off with Kamala Harris evaluating whether or not she would run for president of the United States of America and who would be a better candidate if she decided not to, that can actually start to really capture the hearts of Americans and fits the narrative as a woman that would be on a presidential ticket and whether or not she would actually survive. So let me go ahead and share this with you guys and let me know what you think. What an annoying laugh.
Yeah, I bet. That's former Vice President Kamala Harris teasing her potential political future during her first major speech since leaving office. Now, sources say Harris is currently considering three options going forward. She could decide on a gubernatorial bid in her home state of California, a third run for the presidency, or to not seek elected office at all. A former senior Harris campaign official tells CBS News, quote, 75 million Americans voted for her. She's well positioned. As Democrats work toward finding their new messaging and identity.
Actually, 75 million Americans voted against Trump. They weren't voting for Kamala Harris. that were voting against Trump.
New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has been leading packed rallies around the U.S. with Senator Bernie Sanders. Her rising profile has some wondering if she might be the party's best bet to counter President Trump. Joel Payne is the man to talk to about all of this. He's a Democratic strategist and a CBS News political contributor, joining us from our D.C. bureau. Good morning to you, Joel. Let's start with AOC. She may try to lead a House Dems on the Oversight Committee. You've got some high-profile retirements brewing as well. What do you think her political future is?
Errol, good to be with you. You know, she obviously was a candidate initially for that oversight ranking member spot for Democrats, and that initially went to Jerry Connolly, who recently decided to step back to focus on his health. I actually think that job might actually maybe be a little bit too small for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez right now. I'm sure she's considering it. She said publicly that she's weighing it, but it wouldn't surprise me if, given her expanding national profile, if she felt like she wanted to take that time to focus it on continuing to build a national brand, tell a national story, and build a broader coalition of support.
I mean, she really has
you guys
been
hear
a
what
rock
they're
star for
basically
Democrats
saying?
since appearing on
A lot of what these people are doing, when you see these people, the reason why Jasmine Crockett is so upset is because she didn't get picked to go on a tour with Bernie Sanders. AOC got picked to go on a tour with Bernie Sanders. And so what she's basically implying is that they don't want a strong Black woman to eventually get to the point to where they could be considered president of the United States of America, because no matter what, no matter how much that Jasmine Crockett rails against Trump, they do not see her as presidential. They look at her eyelashes. They look at her hair hat. They look at her clothes. They look at the way that she talks, and she does not resonate with Americans. She may resonate with sassy people over in Dallas, but she does not resonate with the general public. And so Trump has no issue with her, and he has no reason to pay attention to her because she's like a fly on the wall, and she's never going to be a presidential candidate. She is not a person that they would even consider. You are not presidential. But they look at AOC and they say, ooh, okay. You're a little bit too left. You're advocating for immigrants. Your district is in shambles. But if we clean up your image a little bit, we put you on tour with Bernie Sanders, then maybe, let's do an A/B test. Let's see how much we can continue to boost your profile. Go live on X, formerly known as Twitter. Go live on TikTok. Talk to the people and build brand equity. Democrats are more concerned with building brand equity than they are about doing their job and serving the people. I am telling you that Democrats only care about their brand. They are just like social media IG models. They are just like social media IG models. That is what Democrats are. They are fighting. They have no power. They're not actually helping to pass no bills. They're not working on the behalf of the people that's in their district. They care about building a brand. And this is what this tour is about. It's about raising money so they can continue to keep their seat. And it's about making sure that they build a brand so that the people will continue to vote for them. And then ultimately, hopefully, they can be considered amongst their own party to run up a bag and become the face of the party itself. They do not care. They do not want to win. They don't care about being successful. They don't care about you. They're not actually working on your behalf. They care about raising money and building their brand equity so that they can keep their options open on what they can possibly do in the future. They are not tripping off of the people. They're not actually trying to help y'all. They're not even trying to work with Republicans.
On the national stage, really. And she was asked earlier this week about the articles of impeachment filed against President Trump by a Michigan congressman. Let's just share with our viewers what she had to say.
It should absolutely be on the table. It should be on the table for every president. Every president should know that if you break the law, you could be prone to removal.
So she says it should be on the table, but she didn't comment on whether or not she supported this specific move. Why do you think that might be?
I think she made the point there that a lot of Democrats feel you cannot take accountability off the table for any president and any elected official, for that matter. I don't think she's focused on that. And I don't think writ large, by the way, Democrats are focused on it. The Democratic leadership's not focused on it. honestly, just as someone who works in the grassroots of the Democratic Party, I don't think the grassroots base of the party is focused on that. They are focused on continuing to build broad opposition to Donald Trump and to build grassroots energy behind a broader Democratic agenda that can actually defeat Trump and Trumpism at the ballot box in 2026 and 2028. And I think she did a good job of communicating that there.
Now, she raised nearly $10 million, which is just a huge amount in the first 3 months of this year. And she's polling favorably among Democrats and even released this campaign style video as well. Let's show that.
All of us together, seeing our common cause, this is what this country is all about. Don't let them trick us into thinking we are enemies. Don't let them trick us into thinking we can be separated into rural and urban, black and white and Latino. We are one.
Might she be the standard bearer in 2028, especially with the rumblings of another attempt by VP Harris?
Errol, if you close your eyes and squint, who did that sound like? That sounded like Barack Obama sometime around 2006 and 7 and 8.
Democrats are searching for their Barack so fervently. They want their Barack. I want Barack. I want Barack. Michelle. I'm Obama and I approve this message. Michelle. They're looking for their Barack. They want a Barack so bad. If you close your eyes and you squint a little bit and you take your glasses off and you wipe your eyes, you can kind of hear Barack. No, you don't. No, you don't. Respectfully. Barack was a rock star of his time, meaning that he came at the perfect time and the perfect place, and he was well-spoken, he could articulate himself, and he was actually a good debater. He was actually a decent debater. As much as I don't necessarily care for Barack Obama, he was a decent debater. None of these people, not AOC, not Kamala Harris, not Jasmine Crockett, not none of them. None of them is a Barack Obama. None of them. They're not even married. They can't even find a man. Imagine trying to run for president of the United States of America and you can't even find a man. You can't even fix your own household. You don't even have your own children. And you're trying to run for president of the United States of America. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. This is so silly. But I can't complain. I mean, you would almost think that I actually want this to happen. I want competent leadership, whether you on the Democrat side or the Republican side. And to think that we can get a waiter, a former waitress, to try to become president of the United States of America, get the hell out of here, bro. It's so painful. It's so painful. I actually want competent leadership. And so I'm torn personally. And the reason that I'm torn is because on one hand, you can say, well, you want competent leadership. But on the other hand, you can say, but I don't want Democrats to win because their policies are so bad. So you want good, but then you're happy that they're so bad, but then they're so bad, they actually make the people that's in their district suffer. So it's like a catch-22. You know, it's a bad situation, but stop it, bro. Stop. Obama may have been bad and what he left us as a legacy, but it doesn't mean that he was good when it came, or that he was bad when it came to his marketing, his charisma, and his ability to communicate with the people and galvanize the American people. He's just so weak now that we don't. Barack is out there narrating National Geographic and trying to run up a check. He's not thinking about us. Y'all think that Barack actually care about us? Barack don't care about us. He ain't tripping off us. You think Barack care about the American people? You think that Barack cares about the American people? Barack trying to keep Michelle from embarrassing him too much. Michelle, what about Sasha Malay? You know, if I was in president, and can you imagine what it would be like if I had said some of the things that that guy that's in the president, that's in office right now doing? They would have had my neck. And Michelle, it's no way that I would have been able to come home at night after chasing down Osama bin Laden. No way would I have been able to Even capturing Osama. That our names, they could make it seem like they're both the same name. Obama, Osama, you get it. Even after capturing Osama bin Laden, to come home to Michelle, I'd rather be out there in the field. You know, I'm telling you, bro, there's no way that they could ever replace an Obama. They keep trying to find a Obama. They're trying to find a needle in the haystack, and it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Anyways, so how do y'all feel right now? How do y'all feel? I'm a man of many talents. I'm a man of many talents. How do y'all feel right now? AD, what real power does black skinned bring? What real power does black skinned bring? The ability to jump high, run faster, put a ball in a basketball hoop, and maybe throw a football more effectively. Track and field. Other than that, when it comes to intelligence, I think that we have the same brain capacity. I think that we have the ability to solve for problems. But when it comes to the cultural norms, it's the thing that keep us held back. So we're all equal in the eyes of God, and your submitting to Him is what then saves your soul. And then your ability to make money comes from your ability to communicate effectively and think more appropriately. But when it comes to skin color, it's all something that just keeps you down. Really did. It's just something that keeps you down. Can't deny the genetics, but then it's at the same time, you can't deny the genetics on, like, maybe white people swim faster or something. I don't know. I think the genetics plays a huge role, and interest plays a huge role in success on multiple different levels when it comes to sports. But sports is nothing but entertainment. What happens when we start talking about intellectual and business dealings and logic and all of that stuff? It's a little bit different. The only thing you got is the ability to run faster, jump higher, and put a ball in a hoop, which is not a bad thing if you can capitalize off of it. But then it can be a bad thing because everybody in the community think that they need to be a rapper or that they need to be a basketball player or a football player. And if they don't, then they failed at life. So it actually prohibits us from being successful to an extent, right? So it's a catch-22. Anyways, again, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. We're going to have, we're taking a show on the road. So tomorrow we're going to be in somewhere different. I'll be doing the show from a hotel room. Hopefully the hotel Wi-Fi is popping. And then we're going to go from there. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.